Some anime are fun little distractions you watch an episode, maybe two, and call it a night. But then there are the soul-devourers kinda anime. You know the ones. They sink their claws into you, and suddenly it's 3 a.m. Your eyes are dry, your snacks are gone, and you're whispering, just one more episode. Yeah, we've all been there. So if you're ready to fall down the rabbit hole, here's some anime that, with storytelling so top tier, they'll have you glued to the screen like your life depends on it. Let's talk about the shows that'll absolutely wreck your sleep schedule in the best way possible. First off, Windbreaker. I don't know why no one is talking about this one, but this anime is insane. This show offers a unique blend of action, drama, and most of all, a character development that sets it apart from other shonen anime. This show's set in a high school where everyone's always fighting. It follows a tough guy named Haruka, who goes to a high school where everyone goes crazy about fighting. He meets this girl named Kotoha, who's pretty chill, and they become friends. Kotoha tells Haruka about the big-time fighting group at the school, and Haruka thinks he's gonna be the boss. But then, it turns out the fighting group is actually the town's heroes. They're super strong, and everyone loves them, but Haruka thought they were just a bunch of bullies. In this show, the protagonist learns a lot about friendship and teamwork along the way, and he even starts to change as a person. Also, there are rival schools, competitions, and a bunch of characters trying to figure out their lives. It's a pretty cool show. It's like a mix of action and drama, and it's really interesting. It's about friendship, loyalty, and overcoming challenges, which are all things that we can relate to. This show is a solid shonen anime. With its engaging characters, intense action, and relatable themes, it's a show that's worth watching. Next off is Mashle. This anime is extremely hilarious because of this one character. This show got everything you want. Hilarious moments, epic battles, and characters you'll love. What makes it different is how it mixes magic and strength. It's like watching a sorcerer fight a warrior, but way cooler. This show follows a guy named Mash who was born without a magic mark, so he cannot cast spells. Instead, he uses muscle-based techniques to compensate for his lack of magic power. His dad, being the protective type, hid him away in the woods to keep him safe. There, Mash has devoted all of his time to physically training his body and developed a crazy level of strength and agility that completely makes him a superhuman. When the magic police finally found him, he was so tough, and he beat them up. The police officer was so impressed, so he told Mash to go to a magic school and become the best of the best called Divine Visionary. If he could do that, maybe people would stop hating non-magical folks. He decides to enroll in the prestigious Easton Magic Academy, where only elite and gifted students are allowed to attend. Now, Mash has to figure out how to be a badass without using magic and surpass the other students relying solely on his muscles. He's basically a living contradiction, showing that even someone without magic can be a total champ. If you are looking for a fun and lighthearted show with an insane action, then I would recommend checking it out. Next off, Terror in Resonance. This show should get more attention, and here is the reason why. This show is a masterpiece. The animation style was kind of realistic, and the characters are total badass, and you'll get really attached to them as the story unfolds. This show follows two teenage guys in Tokyo who call themselves Sphinx. They are Tuji Hisami and Arata Kokononi, also known as Sphinx #9 and Sphinx #12. They're basically terrorists, but instead of just blowing stuff up, they leave riddles and clues for the government to find. It's like a game to them. They want to see if the government can figure out their plans. And there's this girl, Lisa, who gets caught up in their crazy scheme. She's kind of lost and confused, and she sees Sphinx as a way to escape her boring life. So, she joins them, even though she knows it's dangerous. On the other side, you've got this detective named Kenjiro Shibazaki, who's the only one smart enough to solve Sphinx's riddles. There's also an American Agent 5, who has some kind of connection to Sphinx's past, and is devoted to catching Sphinx and reuniting herself with Arata Kokono. So, it's like a cat-and-mouse game between the cops, the agent, and the crazy teenage terrorists. It's a serious show with a dark twist, but it feels really real and mature. What makes this show interesting? It's about corruption, greed, and the consequences of that corruption and greed on innocent people. It's a really interesting show that keeps you guessing until the very end. If you want a show with psychological and suspense thriller, then this show is for you. Next off is Zom 100. Zombie Ninaru made Nishitai 100 no Kodo. This show will blow your mind because this is not the typical zombie show you've watched. The animation and character designs look great. The storyline is unique in the standpoint that the MC finally feels free now that the rest of the world is zombies is hilarious. This show follows Akira, and due to his 3 years of mind-numbing labor in an exploitative company, Akira is unable to recognize the tired, unaccomplished person he has become. Akira was burned out from his dead-end job. Then, to top it off, zombies started shambling around, and he found himself dodging the undead horde in a world where a zombie pandemic occurs. Just when he thought things couldn't get any worse, a life-changing epiphany hit him, thinking he's not stuck at that crappy office anymore. Akira has never felt more alive. He finds himself free of his responsibilities and feels he can finally live life on his terms. Akira decides to complete a bucket list of 100 things he wants to do before he eventually gets turned into a zombie trying to survive with his friend and several people he meets along the way, living each day at its fullest. It has outstanding visual storytelling and art style, and absolutely floored me with the insane creativity. The writing was also really well thought out. The goofy passion our MC has, such as following his dreams and tackling the bucket list during a zombie apocalypse, is deeply impactful. If you want a show with goofy characters and suspense zombie fights, then this show is for you. Next off is Kaiju No 8. This anime is insane. If you love super-powered suits, giant monsters, and over-the-top action, this show is definitely for you. First off, the show is a masterpiece. Every episode is a visual treat, with characters that are both detailed and expressive. This show doesn't need a complicated plot or a backstory to keep you hooked. It's all about the simple pleasures: giant monsters, epic battles, and relatable characters. Underneath the monster-fighting mayhem, there's a surprisingly deep story. Here, we introduce the hero Kafka Hibino, who dreamed of joining the Japanese Defense Force and fighting kaiju, a monstrous creature that comes in different size and shape. But guess what? He only became a sweeper, left to dispose of its remains instead of becoming a defense force. One day, while doing his usual job, a particularly small and stupid kaiju flew into his mouth. And so, Kafka, the world's least likely hero, became a kaiju. In this show, the characters wear these high-tech suits that make them stronger, faster, and more tough than normal humans. And the best part is, the female characters are just as badass as the male ones. They're wearing the same suit, wielding the same weapons, and kicking just as much kaiju's ass. The characters in this show have their own shortcomings, but they're also relatable. Despite being treated as a weapon, the protagonist fought for his humanity and for his right to be more than just a monster. And in the end, he proved that even a kaiju could have a heart. So, if you're tired of the same old shonen tropes, give Kaiju No 8 a try. It's a surprisingly satisfying show that's sure to leave you wanting more. Next off is Fire Force. I don't know why no one is talking about this insane anime. This show has a lot of amazing characters, breathtaking action scenes, and an interesting story with one of the coolest bunch of villains I have seen in a while. It's a solid anime in the fantasy action genre that's worth watching. Here, we're introduced to our MC, Shinra, the Devil's Footprints guy, who is basically a firefighter with superpowers who can set his feet on fire. Basically, in this show, people are turning into fiery monsters. And the best part? There are people who can control fire without turning into monsters. It's a crazy situation, and you can bet the government is involved. There's a bunch of super-powered firefighters trying to stop these monsters, and Shinra is part of a team called Company 8, and their job is to put out the fiery monsters and help people who are in danger. The protagonist thought he was joining a team of superheroes, but it turns out they're kind of a mess. There are fights between different groups of firefighters. Weird monsters are popping up everywhere, and there's this secret organization that might know something about Shinra's family. It's like a mystery that Shinra has to solve, and he's got a lot of obstacles in his way. This show deserves way more love because it has a unique world, cool powers, and epic fights. If you want a shonen anime where firefighters battle demonic creatures, then don't miss out on this underrated masterpiece. Next off is The Witch and the Beast. This anime has one of the best duos you'll ever see, and you'll never expect why. You can consider this anime as one of the best. The plots are well elaborated, and the characters get cooler and cooler as the show goes on. In the show, we have two protagonists which are complete opposites. Gaido has an explosive temperament who wants to do everything her way and jumps into action right away, while Ashoff is a completely rational and intelligent man who only acts after being certain of what is right. However, together they form a very intriguing duo. Gaido, who gets cursed by some witch who's part of this secret group that hunts down other witches. And the catch? Gaido doesn't even know what the witch looks like, but she's determined to find her, break the curse, and get back to her normal, powerful self. They have to work together to find the witch who cursed Gaido, who left her stuck in another body. The way they think and act is super complicated, and it's not just the good guys. Even the baddies and side characters have deep reasons for doing what they do. The visual is treat to the eyes, and you can really feel the impact of the battles. All the scenes were entertaining and had some genuine twists. The journey of Ashoff and Gaido to find the original witch who cursed her, leaving her trapped in another body, is so fun to see unfold. If you're a fan of dark fantasy and witchcraft, I think this show is for you. And that's a wrap for this video. If you had a good time hanging out, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. It really helps out. Also, I want to know, which anime are you diving into tonight? Drop it in the comments. Let's geek out together. Until next time, stay awesome, and I'll catch you in the next one.